Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to talk in this panel about the designing for resilience and change, and to give some overview about Abu Dhabi initiative, a strong initiative in this regard. Abu Dhabi government set its a clear path towards putting a clear strategy how to make Abu Dhabi city sustainable or a role model for Arab capital in the sustainability and Estidama, to transform the Emirate into a global model for the sustainability idea. They put a lot of strategies and policies in place to make sure those concepts embedded in their policies and regulation. And that's what I'm trying to elaborate more on this presentation. The foundation of the Vision 2030, which is the iconic vision of Abu Dhabi, is set in 2007, started with Plan Abu Dhabi Framework 2030 plan and Economic Vision 2030, that to align all the effort and all the strategies to have a clear path of where the city will be in the next 22 years. Of course, our cities are growing, and the significant and rapid growth in the city of Abu Dhabi is showing a clear need of having a clear strategy and policy in place to manage that growth and the economic expansion. As you can see here, in 2008, we have almost less than 1 million residents in Abu Dhabi, and that grows dramatically, prospected in 2013 to be 1.2, and we are expecting in 2030 to have a population of 2.6, almost 2.6 residents, and a significant number of annual tourists could reach 6.5 growth perspective of the tourists. So that's a significant number. We have really, as a city, decision makers to make a clear strategy of how we can manage that growth and take care of the whole environment and the cultural aspects of Abu Dhabi Emirate. There is a clear drivers and objectives that encourage us to come with this 2030 plan. Those drivers are clearly the economic expansion and the growing population. Those are very clear initiatives that, or drivers that makes us to think seriously about how we set up the roadmap for Abu Dhabi, how we can manage all of this expansion in economy and population growth and the real estate market. We have to put a clear directions, and that's what 2030 plan is trying to achieve. The 2030 vision clearly stated that the sustainability is one of Abu Dhabi government strategies and priorities. Unique natural environment, that's what our 2030 vision is talking about. We have to keep the natural environment, the unique natural environment of Abu Dhabi always in a good perspective, and not to lose that with the urban developments happening around the city. The heritage and the excellence and livability of the city. We have to think how to make this city as livable as possible and attractive place to live and work or to visit. Connectivity, of course, that's one of the main principles that our 2030 vision is talking about. How we are trying to do that, there is a lot of approaches, and we research around the world about how other cities have done it. I will tell you the truth, there is very little initiatives that started to think of how to measure sustainability or how to achieve the sustainability. Still, there is a lot of fluidity in terms of how we can achieve the sustainability, or how can rank it, or how can we measure it. And I think from Abu Dhabi Planning Council, we started to think more tangibly how we can measure this. And I will tell you how we are trying to do this. The concept of resilience that we are trying today to discuss in this unique panel is very important. So either it is social or economic or environmental or cultural. It's essential for each city to effectively manage their operation and their plan and their development. And by planning all of this, of course, that will be a good way to start to think about indicators. What are those indicators? What we are trying to achieve? Are we doing well with our regulations and policies in place? Does those regulation and policies needs to be enhanced or tests or something that we need really to do about to make the city is more attractive and more sustainable than anywhere else in the world? So how we can achieve that in terms of measures? The citizens that I'm trying today, just because of the time, there is a lot of ideas that we thought about, and we had a lot of discussion with other initiatives like Barcelona initiative and in Singapore and Paris. And we had a lot of discussion with the people that trying to achieve the measurement of the sustainability. I think Abu Dhabi tried to look into it from two perspectives, from the macro level and the micro level. From the micro level, it was an idea that we started really to implement. It's a great initiative. We started with Estidama per rating system, where it is clearly has reduced a lot of consumption in the water consumption and energy consumption, and make a big difference in terms of how we are utilizing our resources. That's a new type of thinking that we started in Abu Dhabi, how we try to put some kind of rating system for any development that will start to build in Abu Dhabi. I think we started this just maybe a year ago, but the whole idea will get the result maybe in a few years. We will find a significant change. Right now, from the couple of buildings that we already applied the system, the rating system on, 41% is being reduced from the energy and 21% from the water consumption. And I think that's significant. If Abu Dhabi continue doing this, I think within the next few years, we will have a pretty good result about how Abu Dhabi tangibly measured the sustainability and how they are really managing the city in terms of the development. This is the Executive Council enforcement of the rule of Estidama, which is Estidama is the Arabic name of the sustainability, and it enforces each development in Abu Dhabi to adhere to this rating system. It's one per rating system for each villa, even individual villa, and 2 for the government and community facilities kind of development. Just to have a quick overview why the per rating system. Of course, with this rating system, we started to uphold the cultural sustainability and emphasis on the design. So it emphasis on the design from the beginning. Before it starts building, we need to see how much this building will be consuming the water and electricity, and what kind of materials is going to be used for building those kind of development. And that's what's good about it, because it starts for approval from the beginning, so you can really reduce a lot of effort and enhance the result of it. There is plenty of result and benefits of Estidama, and I can go through them in the discussion if you like. But I would like just to jump into the main idea of how we are linking this into the geospatial information. In Abu Dhabi, we have plenty of good information, geospatial information related to the location itself. And what we are trying to do in this initiative, which we call City Sense, is mapping data for better decisions. What is City Sense? In its simple form, City Sense is a way to measure how well we are doing, how well are our policies and regulation in terms of planning the city are doing, how much effect on the ground. And we are linking that not on the macro level only, even to the community level. So we are seeing each community having all the geospatial information, trying to identify some indicators that could be applied and monitor them over time and see before the regulation and policies and after these policies, are we improving? Are those having a positive effect on the ground, or we need to enhance something? That's the broad idea of city sense. But are we ready for such thing? I think if we didn't start it now, things will get worse and worse. And we care about the environment, and we care. It's one of our basic principles that we rely on. And our vision is clearly set the path for having this as a priority for the government. Therefore, we thought we need to feel the pulse of the city. We need to understand how we are doing. So City Sense is a tool that we're trying to provide for decision makers of how our regulations and planning policies are doing over time. Maybe the long term is going to be really a very good example and something we can share with all other cities. But now, at this moment, we started this in a small scale, and we're trying to really grow and have a discussion with other cities to find out are those indicators are suitable for everywhere, because we try to focus on our needs and our environment and how well we are doing according to our Vision 2030. So City Sense in general is a way or a platform that allow two-way direction of dialogue. Because if things are not going well, how we will know that? Of course, from the people who live in the city. If I wanted to make Abu Dhabi is a beautiful place to live in, beautiful place to work, a good place to visit or to do business, you need to hear from the people who live on the city. There is different ways we can do that, and we started really to put some effort to identify how the tool, which we were thinking to have it as a web-based, to allow the public and the residents and the people who are visiting Abu Dhabi to tell us how well we are doing. Geospatial information has a great value. It has a great value to make this vision happen. It's somehow complicated, but I think with a clear vision and dedication, I think Abu Dhabi will be able to show a role model on how to measure those indicators and how we're trying to achieve our sustainability Estidama. For this, I would like to run this video and hope you like. That will give you an overview about Abu Dhabi and Urban Planning Council. So this is just an introduction of the idea, and I will be happy to answer questions, particular question about the citizens and the approach that we are trying to achieve in Abu Dhabi through the discussion. Thank you.